So early this year, just before all of the lockdown and that, we hadn't really heard of it out of this virus at the time. I had the good fortune to go on retreat, I suppose is the word, but an unusual retreat because we went to the Sahara Desert in Morocco. And it wasn't, we didn't go to a monastery or a particular shrine or religious place, because we went into the desert where there is nothing. Very thankfully, we were well supported by a company of guides who, with a team of camels, moved our luggage and set up tents and prepared some very nice meals for us. But those of you who know me will know that I'm a very keen walker and mountaineer. And when I'm out walking in the hills, I'll probably have a map in my rucksack, some sort of tracking app on my phone with another map so I can see where I'm going, and quite likely a copy of the map printed out and in my pocket just to keep things easy and on hand. Because when I'm out walking, I'm very good at keeping an idea of where I am, in control of the situation. If anything goes wrong, I know what to do. So when we drove down on that first day into the Sahara Desert, I sort of kept an eye on where the sun was. They'd suggested we take our watches off, so I didn't really know what time it was, but I had an idea of what time it must be because the sun was high or setting and so on. And I knew roughly what direction things were because the sun sets in the west and rises in the east and so on. So for the first few days, I thought I was going to have a reasonable chance of sort of keeping tabs on where I am and what was going on. And actually, I realised that I think keeping tabs on what was going on was exactly what we shouldn't have been doing in the desert. The point of going away into the Sahara Desert for this retreat was to let go of things and to trust God. So, as the days went on, it became impossible anyway for me to have any idea of how far we walked or really what direction, as we passed over sand dunes and salt flats and dry riverbeds and so on. But it became more comfortable and more peaceful because Hussein, our guide, clearly knew what he was doing. And I didn't have an idea of how he was navigating, but at around the right sort of time of day or so it felt, we'd go around a corner of a sand dune and find 2 camels and a guide cooking our dinner. And later in the day we'd round the top of a hill and see our tents pitched out below us, ready for the night. So we got to trust Hussein as a guide and the environment we were in. And I think I learned an important lesson. It's probably a lesson I've learned a few different times in different ways. But let go and just trust God. I think I found the same in priesthood. The bishops over the years have asked me to go to places and do jobs that I was somewhat apprehensive about because I didn't think I'd be any good at them. I didn't think it'd be something I'd be comfortable doing or enjoy. And in each of those, I found a great blessing. I think the lesson for me then in vocation is simply to trust God and follow him. And sometimes maybe we don't actually see where that's leading. We haven't got the idea of what the path is ahead of us. In the Gospel today we heard Martha, who clearly had a lot of faith in Jesus. She didn't know what he was going to do, but she believed. She spoke of the resurrection on the last day, and she knew that Jesus would make things right. So for all of us, I think the challenge in life is letting go of the control we have, or think we have. Stop making decisions that seem to be within safe parameters, with escape routes and backup plans. Because if we really are following God, we don't need any of those things. The challenge, of course, is having the confidence and the faith to do that. But that's something that can be learnt step by step. As we grow to trust God in little things and day to day, we can build on that confidence and know that his love will never let us down. And grow too in our love for him as we realise the depth of his love for us. So today, please keep in your prayers those in our diocese who are discerning a call to priesthood or the permanent diaconate or religious life, that they might have the confidence to trust God and let go some of the control we have in life. And pray too for ourselves that we may all have that same confidence to follow faithfully where God might lead us.